Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is still Austin Broder. I'm here teaching you guys how to make 3D characters, and great job in that last video. That was really hard, right? But it's a very valuable skill, and you guys did a great job. I'm here in the beautiful town of Santa Cruz, a town full of artists and painters. And on that topic, we're going to talk about how to paint your model, add some color, and really make it shine. Now there is just one more thing we have to do before we start painting our model, and that is unwrap our character's UVs. Now, I know what you're gonna say. UVs are scary, I hate them. Don't worry, Maya 2018 has some new tools that make UV unwrap incredibly simple. It's like 3 clicks. So let's do that real quick and then we'll get to painting our model. So our first step is going to be to create some quality UVs. In case you need a reminder or you're new to UV unwrapping, we need to specify how an image is meant to be wrapped back onto our model. If you have your high poly mesh visible, select it and press Ctrl H to hide it. Let's select our model in object mode and open up the UV editor by going to UV, UV editor. Currently we have UVs that make no sense. If we wanted to paint his face in Photoshop, we'd have no idea where to paint his mouth or his eyebrows or anything. So let's make this usable. If you don't see the UV toolkit on the right, go to Tools, Show UV Toolkit. Drop down the Create menu. Hold Shift and click on Planar to bring up the options. Let's project from the front of the character, which for me is the Z-axis. Okay, we have a pretty good start. Now let's finish up by cutting seams so that it can lay flat. Go to UV, 3D Cut and Sew tool, then hold right click and switch to Edge mode. Click and drag along the middle line down the back of the head to make a cut. If you accidentally hit any of the horizontal edges, you can either undo or hold Ctrl to stitch them back together. Double-click a loop around the ear. This will separate the ear into a new shell. Do the same for the eye hole, then once more just inside the lips. Now close the Create menu and expand the Unfold menu. Be sure to switch to Object Mode first. Click on Unfold. Now collapse the Unfold menu and expand the Arrange and Layout menu. Scroll down to the bottom and click Layout. Now we're done with UVs. It was that simple. Go ahead and clear up the history by going to Edit, delete all by type, history, and be sure to save a version. Let's get painting. Alright, first close the UV editor. Press Ctrl Shift H to reveal your high resolution model or show it in the outliner. With both models selected, go to File, Send to Mudbox, Send as a new scene. There may be a window saying it has detected some problems with the surface. Just click Keep All, then click OK on the next dialog. At this point, for clarity, I rename my high poly models High and low poly model Low. On the object list, select both models. Then go to UVs and Maps, Extract Texture Maps, New Operation. Click on Normal Map. Move this window to the side outside our Mudbox window, since if we click off of it, it'll send it behind that main Mudbox window. Next to Target Model and Source Models, click Add Selected. In the Target Models box, select High and then click Remove. And in the Source Models, select Low and then click Remove. Make sure the method is raycasting. Next to the search distance, click on the best guess. Choose what size textures you want to work with. I'm going to choose 2048. Then click the ... next to the base file name and choose a location for your normal map. I'm going to put mine in the source images folder in my project under Documents, Maya, Projects, Default, Source Images. Click Extract. Now it's going to pull surface detail from our high poly model and simulate all that extra information on the low poly model. Now hide the high resolution mesh, and let's take a look at our normal map. Now you'll notice that there's a couple issues here. There's some clipping in the normal map creation, so let's go to Layers and go down in the bottom and select under Paint Tools your paintbrush. We're going to zoom in here and just hold Shift to smooth out some of these hard edges. Alright, now finally to actual painting. Let's create a new layer. Name it Base Color and change the channel to Diffuse, which is another word for color. If you click back on the paintbrush tool, you can choose a color. Then scroll down and click Flood Paint Layer. Now let's create a new layer for just the warm tones. Name this layer Reds. Remember, if you don't see your color picker, just try clicking on the paintbrush button. Let's do a little bit of a warmer tone. And I'm going to paint in on the eyes, especially the upper eyelid, the tip of the nose, and the sides of the nose, the cheeks, the lips, the chin, the ears, and try to get a little bit on the forehead and on the top of the head. You can always lower the strength of your brush, but don't worry if it looks a little bit too much like makeup, because we're going to begin smoothing it now. Hold shift and smooth out a lot of these places and kind of spread out these colors. And don't worry, we can come back in and repaint the lips and things that have more specific color regions. In addition to being able to paint color, you can also paint whether a place is shiny or not. This is called specularity. So let's make a new layer, switch the channel to specularity, and black will mean not shiny, white will mean shiny. So let's change our color to black, scroll down and flood paint layer, and then let's switch to white, and let's paint very lightly on the nose, on the lips, on the eyelids, and on the ear, and anywhere else you want to be shiny. Now for bonus points, I'm going to show you another technique. Let's create some fine surface detail, like skin pores. Create a new layer called Skin Details, and this time let's switch back to Diffuse. Choose a nice warm color, like deep red or some browns, to create some skin blemishes. And then go under the Stamps tab, click on the one second from the left, and then check on Randomize. And let's raise the stamp spacing to about 60. This will provide a bunch of randomized surface detail so it looks a little more natural. Make sure the strength of the brush is really low. We want this to be subtle. So that's pretty much it for painting our faces. Take your time, get some details in there and layer stuff in, and I'll see you in the next lesson where we will apply this onto our model back in Maya so we can start lighting and rendering it.